What's up everyone, this is FP6 bringing you some more Go Battle League battles here in the Great League, and in today's video going to be rolling with a Shadow Machamp team. Have you guys built a Shadow Machamp yet? Were you able to TM away frustration off your Machamp during GoFest? Shadow Machamp has just unbelievable DPS. It really outputs damage really fast. Unfortunately, it is very glassy, but luckily with running the moveset Cross Chop and Rock Slide, Cross Chop is pretty spammy. It only takes 5 counters to get there, so you're able to rip off some charge moves pretty fast. I paired my Shadow Machamp actually with a Skarmory lead, rocking Sky Attack and Brave Bird, as well as a Azumarill safe swap. I kind of changed my moveset on Azumarill within this video. I think the first set I started with Ice Beam Play Rough, and then I think in the final video, or the final set here, I went like Ice Beam Hydro Pump. I can't decide on a freaking Azumarill moveset. I really can't, because if you give up Hydro Pump, you lose all of that nuke potential against the steel types like Stunfisk and Bastiodon, which, oh my gosh, have I been seeing so many Bastiodon and like Shadow Victory Bell cores. It's insane. But if you don't have Play Rough, you're going to lose the mirror match to all of the other Azumarills, and Azumarills everywhere. And if you don't run Ice Beam, you're completely walled by the grass types and you don't have as much bait potential. So it's like, man, it's so tough to decide on a moveset. But enough about Azumarill. Let's get into these battles featuring Shadow Machamp. Shadow Machamp plays honestly very similarly to Haunter in the fact that it is very glassy, so I'm most of the time going to be saving shields for it and looking for opportunities to fast move a Pokemon down and then throw all that stored energy into the next Pokemon. So I'm just going to go straight for the Sky Attack here on this Mew. Mew is actually a big problem for this line here because I'm assuming they're running Wild Charge. Should have shielded this, but I knew that another Wild Charge was coming anyways, so I think I actually just let this go. Oh, it's just a Surf. And now I'm going to bring out Azumarill to farm this down and avoid getting hit by another charge move, which is really good. Oh my gosh, freaking Meganium, not good. Meganium is a very solid response to Azumarill, but I do get a shield right there. And at this point, I think I'm just going to sack my Azumarill, or I'm going to let this Frenzy Plant go through, and then... Oh, what am I doing here? Oh, they give up Switch Advantage and switch into their Dugong, which is actually amazing for me. I'm just going to go straight for the Cross Chop. Oh my gosh, that does so much damage, and they're not able to get off an Icy Wind. That's huge. Thank goodness I was very quick to my swap. I feel like I actually... my Machamp would have been aligned to their Dugong anyway, so I still was looking pretty good just based on the backline here. But that was crazy that they gave up Switch Advantage right there. So I'm for sure going to shield this. And then farm, I'm just going to throw the Cross Chop right away. Get rid of this Meganium. And good games. You can see how much damage Cross Chop does. That's absolutely insane. Also, the leaderboards came out. Have you guys seen the Go Battle League leaderboards yet? I think I'm around like 40th in the world or something like that. But these sets have been rough, man. I'm hanging out in the 2600 range, and you know, the queue times are long, and I'm still trying to think of some new team comps here because as a content creator, you essentially always have to be innovating. So it can be tiring at times, but it's kind of fun to come up with new teams, but you always got to try to think ahead of like what you're seeing at your particular rating range. And honestly, the meta is somewhat different based on what rating range you're in. Obviously in this upper 2600 or like this upper rating range of 2600, you run into a lot of the same people over and over and over again, most of them running the same team all the time. And so they can really start to predict what team you're running and vice versa. So it's nice to change it up every once in a while. Oh my gosh. I'm bringing out Shadow Machamp into an Azumarill here. This is a questionable play to say the least. Rock Slide is going to hit for a lot of damage. I am farming up very heavily. I'm trying to keep track of my opponent's energy. They're very close to another Ice Beam. It's going to be an Ice Beam right here. Have to shield it up. But then I know that their Azumarill's energy dry. It takes 5 bubbles to get to Ice Beam. So I'm farming up as much as possible. Really hoping that this Cross Chop is going to be enough to take it out. And it is just enough. They bring out Skarmory, and I have a Machamp. Oh, what an amazing swap on their part to catch this Rock Slide on Deoxys. Wow. Amazing play. Amazing play. They still have a Skarmory with the shield, so there's no hope here. They're going to farm down my Skarmory and then throw a move on my Machamp. And that'll be a GG right there. Machamp actually has a decent matchup with Skarmory when shields are up. Obviously, you're taking super effective damage the whole time, but the damage output on Machamp is absolutely insane. Skarmory and Hypno. This is actually a favorable lead, regardless of what punch Hypno is throwing. Even if it's Thunder Punch or Fire Punch, still favorable for Skarmory in even shielding scenarios because the confusion damage is resisted the whole time. So I'm sitting here farming up a lot. They do have enough energy to throw another punch. They don't shield that. I'm going to be able to get the Sky Attack off. And as you can see in the zero shield scenario, Skarmory would cleanly have this. So they're going to shield up. There is a case to be made for me shielding right here, but I'm going to let that go. And then I want to avoid being confusioned down, so I aggressively switch into my Azumarill. And I am up a shield. Azumarill as a safe swap is amazing, especially if your opponent is not running a grass type on their team. And so if this is a gunk shot, it is a little scary, but it's just a body slam, so I'll let that go through. Gonna throw the play rough. This should be just enough to take out the Munchlax. Just enough. Really good for me. Actually, I'm able to bubble it down, which is even better. Is Hypno gonna come back out? Most likely. Because we know it's running Thunder Punch, and I need to get this Hypno off the field so my Machamp has some play. So I really want to... Oh, I'm able to bubble down the Hypno. Really good for me. In the back is Scrafty, and Machamp is just going to melt this thing. Gonna punch it into the ground. Those counters are hitting for super effective damage because of Scrafty's fighting and dark typing. Good game there. Oh my gosh, the damage output was insane. Skarmory into cast form. Honestly, if Skarmory can land a Brave Bird here, it's going to be pretty crazy, but we know that Rainy cast form has Thunder as one of the charge moves. They're going straight Weather Ball here. Skarmory can survive another Weather Ball, but the Water Gun damage also really adds up. We need to be aware of that. They are doing an amazing job at counting Skarmory's fast moves and always forcing a CMP tie here. Luckily, they were not able to switch out on the CMP. I missed a bubble there. That is not great. That is not great. I'm going to bring out my Machamp. I tried to fast move that thing down, but Machamp with an energy advantage against a Skarmory in the one shield scenario. Let's see how this plays out. I bait with the cross chop, really good for me, and I'm going to be able to get to this Rock Slide. I think this is enough to take out the Skarmory, and Machamp didn't even have to commit a shield. That is amazing! Oh, actually it's a simultaneous KO. Simultaneous KO. What the heck are they going to bring in? I'm just going to go into Azumarill. Oh, it's freaking Meganium, dude. It's freaking Meganium. Oh, that is not good. It's just one of those moments where, you know, if I would have clicked the Skarmory, would have been a different scenario. I'm gonna land the Ice Beam. The cast form comes out and I'm able to farm it down, which is really good. And the shield advantage that I had was actually played a huge role in this victory here, because I was able to save the shield for Skarmory and then be able to take out this Meganium. Good game there. Skarmory mirror match. You can always assume that your opponent is running Brave Bird because it's such a good move. So much damage output right now. It's interesting that, you know, Skarmory doesn't have any coverage anymore by not running Flash Cannon, and so, but Brave Bird is just obnoxiously powerful. So we're always over farming here to try to bluff that we're going to throw a Brave Bird. This is a rank 1 Skarmory that we're using, and they're able to throw a Brave Bird. And then they switch into a Shiftry to catch a Sky Attack. Very strange. I'm going to switch into my Machamp and absolutely melt this Shiftry. Shield once, counter down is for sure the play here. I'm assuming Meganium in the back. I'm assuming the Skarm double grass. So I'm over farming here because I know they're Skarmory through a Brave Bird. So they're essentially energy dry. I get the last shield and I'm just going to throw this cross chop because I know it should be just enough to take out this Skarmory. That is so beautiful. It's a Meganium in the back. Shadow Machamp, gonna put in some work here. I think I go for the Rock Slide. Rock Slide, you don't get stab on it, but it's actually just such a better move than Cross Chop that it's slightly more energy efficient. So I'm going for the Rock Slide, and it takes out the Meganium at that health. That is incredible. Good games there. Good game. Best possible lead you could ask for. Azumarill needs to avoid this. So I'm going to switch into my Machamp, and it's going to melt this Munchlax. I was dumb and I accidentally clicked the Cross Chop, but I had to throw a Cross Chop anyways. I could undercharge this, which is what I do. Nice play. Nice play, past self. Undercharge it. Tropius is going to come out. It is a Razor Leaf Tropius. This Rock Slide is going to hit for so much damage if they don't shield. Oh my gosh, so much damage. So now I'm just going to bring out Skarmory to wall this. They have a Stunfisk in the back. Oh, and this is where my Azumarill is running Hydro Pump. So Ice Beam Hydro Pump now. I'm going to shield this up. I anticipated it being the heavy hitting move of Earthquake. If they would have baited me, that would have been a major heads up play on their part. But I'm just going to go straight Ice Beam here, even though I'm going to continuously build up to Hydro Pump. Again, I'm always trying to pressure those shields, but the bubble damage plus the neutral damage of Ice Beam is honestly going to be enough to handle this Stunfisk here. My Azumarill is getting crazy close to being in Earthquake range. And so at this point, I'm going to make a swap into Skarmory at the exact same time that my opponent switches into Tropius. You could not have asked for a better scenario there. That was incredible. And this Brave Bird actually should be enough to take out this Stunfisk, even though it's resisted. Look how much damage this does. That is insane. That is insane. Good game. Skarmory into Bastiodon. Oh my gosh. Worst possible lead. And I think I make a mistake here. Yes, I make a mistake. I anticipated that it was a double grass line, and so for some reason I didn't want to switch in my Azumarill, and here I should have went Rock Slide, even though they were going to shield it up anyways. I should have used my Azumarill as a safe swap, but they're rocking Shadow Blossom, which actually would survive an Ice Beam, unlike Shadow Victory Bell, so this is really bad. Here I stopped tapping because I want my switch clock to run out. That was my thought process here. But they were so fast to the swap. It's Meganium in the back. And this is where if I would have just safe swapped my Azumarill in the first place, this would have been way better. Because I would have had Machamp in the back to handle this. And Machamp with a shield advantage, I think totally could have handled Bastiodon and Meganium. So bad play on my part. Stick with your safe swap, man. If you're going to say Azu's your safe swap, stick with it. Should have stuck with it. And my Azu had play Hydro Pump for a possible nuke on Bastiodon too. So I'm going to give them a faster win there. Good games. I was totally wrecked. This whole team struggles against Defense Deoxys. That is one of its weaknesses. So we kind of have to play this out. It would be wise to shield up the first charge move. It's very rarely a bait, so I'm going to shield this up. It is a Thunderbolt. We see MP tie. This should be a Sky attack that I'm throwing here. There's no reason to go for the Brave Bird nuke right off the bat. Looks like they're going to take... I wonder if they're going to let this go as well and just take the shield advantage. Nope, they will shield that up. At this point... looks like I'm going to prioritize switch advantage here. I'm going to be able to farm this down. This is only a Rock Slide or Psycho Boost. It's a Psycho Boost. I survive it. Do they have a hard response to Skarmory? It's an Umbreon. Okay. I'm just going to throw the Brave Bird, and I think I might even aggressively switch out. No, I'm just going to let Skarmory go down. Okay. This guarantees... Ooh, this is sketchy, though. I have to bring out a Azumarill here. It's slightly safer because the last resort would really hurt Machamp. And now that I have no shields, Machamp is not going to be able to perform nearly as well as it should. And, of course, my Azumarill is not running Play Rough in this particular match. And my opponent is running Play Rough. Huge disadvantage here. Shadow Machamp is really not going to appreciate the last resort from Umbreon at all, and we know that their Umbreon is still very loaded on energy, so I might make an aggressive swap here. Nope. Just gonna let this play out, throw the Ice Beam, and then maybe go for the counter down. That would have been a play. They bring out their Umbreon. The last resort takes me out. Luckily, they did burn some energy there. Oh, okay, my opponent plays so well here. So I see a win condition. Farm it down and then throw double cross chop. But my opponent says no, and they have loaded energy. Actually, I could have just countered down the Azumarill if they didn't have loaded energy as well, but very heads-up play by my opponent. Good game. Skarmory into Empoleon. Ah, yikes. So we are going to see, we're going to see just how busted Brave Bird is here. Oh, never mind. I'm just going to switch into Azumarill. Because I actually looked into this simulation, Azumarill versus Empoleon. Even with Drill Peck, Empoleon can't beat Azumarill, which is pretty crazy to think about. Empoleon is, you know, resisting all these moves, while Empoleon can hit Azumarill for neutral damage with Drill Peck and still can't even win. It's insane. I think Empoleon in Ultra League is going to have a lot more play with Drill Peck, but Drifblim, dude, Drifblim has been fun. I've actually been running Drifblim on some of my teams, and I should have some footage soon featuring some Drifblim gameplay. It's a balloon, man, and it's inviting you to a party. It's got access to Icy Wind and Shadow Ball, two really great charge moves, and with the fast energy generation of Hex as a fast move, pretty fun to use. I do correctly shield up the Shadow Ball, and then I wanted to be able to farm that down. This Hydro Cannon is going to do a lot of damage. I'm going to shield this up and then I think aggressively switch into Machamp. One counter takes out Empoleon. Oh my gosh. But now I have a full health Machamp that's just going to get nuked. Oh my gosh. They have their own Machamp in the back, so I'm going to throw a cross chop, force the last shield. This is actually a pretty crazy conclusion to this game. Oh man. I'm going to throw the Sky Attack immediately. Oh boy, is this Rock Slide? It should be a Rock Slide. It's a Cross Chop. If they would have went Rock Slide, it would have been a different story. Pretty sure they had enough energy to do it. Going to throw this, and then I should be able to fast move down the Drifblim. Good games, man. Hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay with Shadow Machamp. As always, if you enjoyed it, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.